In April 2021, two Canadian content creators going by Jordan and Johnny uploaded a spine-chilling video called Paranormal Activity at Sinister Farm to their YouTube channel, Paranormies. The channel has built its reputation around venturing into haunted locations across the globe. In this particular upload, the pair set out to investigate an abandoned farmhouse tucked away in a remote corner of Steinbach, Canada. Apparently, a local couple had reached out to them about this deeply unsettling property. Constructed sometime after World War II, the farm has accumulated a long and troubling history of paranormal reports. The backstory alone is enough to make your skin crawl. People in the area say the original owner would disappear every single night and return come morning, until one day he walked out and was never seen again. Over the following 8 decades, the land changed hands multiple times, yet not one of those owners managed to stick around for more than 2 years. The couple who first contacted the duo had their own harrowing experience while sleeping in the upstairs bedroom. They described hearing clear, distinct voices, and when they turned toward the window, there was a figure staring back at them from the second floor. That impossible encounter was enough to send them packing, and they immediately got in touch with Jordan and Johnny to look into it. The two arrived at the property in the dead of night and started by scouting the exterior, hunting for a way inside. Then the camera catches something neither of them noticed.
So it's got to be that window?
It'd be that window, barn. Shine the light back here. Yo, Johnny.
What?
Yeah, there's a barn back there. Oh, I can't really see it on my camera. So yeah, it would have been that window. She saw the figure creeping in.
If you study the footage carefully, a hand briefly emerges from that second floor window before retreating back inside. This detail, completely overlooked by the investigators in the moment, is deeply unsettling because it's the exact same window the couple had described seeing a face peering out of. Whatever was inside that house, it was already watching them. Oblivious to what their own camera had recorded, Jordan and Johnny pressed on. Finding the front door dead-bolted shut and damaged beyond use, they were forced to squeeze through a window to get in. Once inside, they got their equipment running.
Is anybody in here? It's a yep?
Is that you who made that noise? Can you use the necrophonic? Say yes.
Man, that freaked me out.
There's yes, I just heard it.
Yes?
There was a yes. Who are you?
Demon?
Following that brief session with the necrophonic device, they headed upstairs to dig deeper, though they still hadn't picked up on the hand or anything else visually alarming. Eventually, they made their way back down to the lower level.
What?
I heard something footsteps.
There it is.
That's definitely a knock.
Can you knock again if that was you? There it is. I'm gonna go check. Hang on. Oh man, it's so freaky.
The mysterious knocking sent them searching every corner of the house, but nothing turned up to account for the sounds. Determined to make contact with whatever might be lurking there, they set up a sensory deprivation test. Jordan sealed himself inside a small bathroom while Johnny posed questions to any entity that might be listening. That's when the atmosphere shifted completely.
Why are you here?
We're here just to talk to you.
Johnny.
Did you hear that? What was that?
I heard something.
It was this light bulb, dude.
A light bulb.
Look. Oh my god.
That wasn't already there?
No. Was that you that did that? Go back in, go back in. I want to see if we can get something off this. Are you the one that knocked that light bulb down?
Ha ha ha.
Is this a joke to you?
Me. Window. Ha ha ha.
Jordan.
Huh.
I feel like there's something like pulling on my shirt.
Not long after, a loud crash rang through the house. When they went to investigate, they found a light bulb had somehow dropped on its own, with no reasonable explanation for how it happened. Pushing forward, they opted for a different approach, table tipping. They positioned a table in the center of the room and began calling out to whatever presence shared the space with them. What unfolded next stopped them cold.
Take this camera, and I'll grab this camera, and then Stop. Whoa, Jordan.
Dude, what was that?
Before the experiment even got properly underway, the table launched itself violently across the room. And what makes it even more chilling is that just seconds before it moved, the sound of footsteps could be heard thundering down the staircase.
Stop.
The timing is hard to dismiss. It strongly suggests that whatever descended those stairs was the same force that sent that table flying. Shaken, they retreated upstairs, but the house gave them no peace. Unexplained sounds kept coming, things being knocked over, objects dragged across floors. Refusing to give up, they switched to an SLS camera, a device that maps humanoid shapes using technology similar to an Xbox Kinect. What it picked up next is genuinely disturbing.
Whoa, look. Something in the window.
There's something in the window?
Right where the table flipped. 2, there was another one. If that's you, can you make a noise? And it doesn't make sense why this would be pulling something from the window. If anything, it would go on the window frame, not in the middle of the window. And now it's gone by the window. So why is that? Can you let us know where you are by making a noise? Oh, right for a second, right by the window where she saw that thing?
Yeah, you saw it.
Yeah. It's sitting right where, kind of how we were sitting before, right against the wall. Look at this.
The camera detected a stick figure-like shape hovering near the second floor window, the very same window where the couple had seen a face, and where that mysterious hand had reached out earlier in the night. That was enough to push them out of the house and over to the barn, where things were about to get far more aggressive than either of them expected.
Can you tell us if necrophonic is real? And if it is, we want to know, did you flip that table?
Right before their eyes, a bottle was hurled across the barn, followed by a box launched with serious force. They scrambled to find a cause, but came up completely empty. That was the breaking point. Jordan and Johnny wrapped up the investigation and got off the property as fast as they could. Looking back at the full arc of the night, there's a clear and troubling pattern. Whatever was in that farmhouse seemed to escalate its behavior each time the pair refused to leave. It started with strange sounds and banging, unsettling, but not enough to chase them out. Then came the table flipping, far more aggressive, yet still they stayed. Finally, objects being physically hurled in the barn crossed a line they weren't willing to push past. And layered over all of it is that hand in the window, silent, almost easy to miss, but perhaps the most chilling detail of the entire night, given that it mirrors exactly what the couple had described before anyone ever set foot on that property. Whether what these two experienced was genuinely paranormal or a carefully constructed hoax, no one can say for certain. The footage is striking, but as always with this kind of investigation, absolute proof has a way of staying just out of reach. So here's the real question. If you found yourself in that farmhouse, would you have bolted at the very first sign something was off? Or would you have pushed on like Jordan and Johnny did, long enough to witness something truly This
mysterious intruder broke into a home that once belonged to a married couple who vanished without a trace. Their disappearance has never been explained, though dark rumors have swirled ever since. A relative of the couple later released disturbing footage pulled from the home's security system. What that
Fijas en todas las paredes está ese nombre, güey, el niño Emilio, güey. No sabemos por qué, pero en todas las paredes está ese nombre. Grito, grito. ¿Qué fue? Hola. Uy. ¿Dónde fue, güey? Mamá. ¿Dónde fue, güey? No sé. Mamá. Mamá, dijeron, güey. Hola. Manches. Tú no manches, güey. ¿Hay algún niño aquí? ¿El espíritu de algún niño? ¡Ay, güey! ¡Otra vez, güey! ¡Ay! Aquí está. Aquí está. ¿Dónde fue? ¿Dónde fue, güey? ¿Me escuchó aquí cerca, eh? ¡Niño!
As unsettling as the recordings were, they weren't enough to keep one person from deciding to sneak inside. The intruder climbed through a second-floor window, completely unaware of what he was walking into. The moment he set foot in the house,
Ahí, güey. Mira, ya la quemaron, colombiano, mira esa figura. ¿Qué fue? Ay, Dios, sí. Se escuchó clarito, güey. ¿Dónde fue, güey? No sé. No sé de arriba, güey. Yo creo que sí, fíjate. Se escuchó clarito la voz de un niño, güey. Ay, cañón, acá. Se vio algo acá a este lado, güey. Acá, colombiano, pasó algo ahí.
once the strange knocking faded, the intruder turned his gaze down the hallway, and there it was, a dark silhouette, standing still, staring directly at him. Then it slipped away into the shadows. Convinced he'd just spooked himself, he crept forward to investigate, but there was nothing there. It wasn't
¿Qué? ¿Qué, güey?
Algo pasó por allá.
¿Dónde, güey?
Algo pasó por allá al fondo.
¿Sí?
No, acá.
¿Dónde?
Acá arriba.
¿Acá de este lado?
Sí, acá arriba. Algo pasó acá arriba, güey.
¿Dónde?
No manches. No, para acá. No manches, güey.
¿Qué viste? ¿Qué viste?
No. No me vas a creer lo que vi,
¿Qué
güey.
viste, güey?
Vi un bulto, güey, pequeño, güey.
This time around, the footage shows something far more disturbing. A shadowy, childlike figure darting rapidly through the space. The investigators actually spotted it in the moment and rushed over to check, but when they got there, not a soul was found. So were these two ghost hunters really able to capture evidence of a child's spirit haunting this building? Or is the whole thing an elaborate setup? Drop your thoughts down in the comments. Also,
A TikTok user by the name of Jose Miguel Stark uploaded a clip back in May 2022 showing himself exploring an old hospital somewhere in San Jose, starting his walkthrough at roughly 6:30 in the morning. As he makes his way through the building, the camera sweeps across corridors and rooms that appear weathered and neglected, though not completely deserted. What stands out most, though, is the silence, the kind that feels just a little too heavy. At a certain point, before anything you can actually see occurs, strange and faint voices begin drifting through the space, layering on the tension, and then the footage delivers this.
following that brief session with the necrophonic device, they headed upstairs to dig deeper, though they still hadn't picked up on the hand or anything else visually alarming. Eventually, they made their way back down to the lower level. The mysterious knocking sent them searching every corner of the house, but nothing turned up to account for this.
I decided to pull over at this little rest stop on the side of the highway on the way to Globe, Arizona, and the wind is picking up pretty heavy right now. I've drove past this place probably dozens of times over the course of the last few years. Figured I'd get out and let nature do its thing. I also see this ravine over here, and it looks like there's a bunch of trash down there. And I thought, hey, this might be another place to do some drone exploring and see what we find down there. There's a chunk of sheet metal right down there. And then over here, looks like there's another one. Wouldn't surprise me if there's a couple car wrecks down there too.
You can best bet there's already been some idiot in a Challenger or a BMW that sees those signs as a challenge, and this is what happens to them. Now, I'm not saying that these cars here are a BMW or a Challenger.
Out of nowhere, a door slams shut by itself, with nobody standing anywhere near it, and no obvious explanation for why it moved. Simultaneously, a pale white shape flickers across the door's window, something that, for just a moment, looks unsettlingly like a figure. It's not hard to understand why viewers would jump straight to a paranormal conclusion, an invisible presence making sounds and physically affecting the space around it. That said, the white shape is more than likely just a reflection caught in the glass, whether from the surrounding environment or the camera's own lens. The door itself could simply have been sitting slightly ajar.
Down here, and unfortunately, lots of trash. I was getting ready to fly my drone back in to do a battery swap, and then I stumbled upon this, and well, I couldn't resist.
Did not plan on spotting that old cave or mining entrance, whatever you want to call it, but it's only a few feet away, so I figured, let's go check it out. Looks like there's a trail over here, and I can see some footprints, so it looks like people do come out here. Not gonna lie, this looked a lot more accessible from the point of view of my drone. Had a little bit of a rough time getting down, but it should be smooth sailing the rest of the way. I just don't want to be out here too long because the weather in this area looks like it could storm pretty good in the next few minutes, and you don't want to be down on the side of a canyon when it rains. No. Let's hope there's no freaking bears. Look at that. I'm not going to go too far in there. Actually, I'm not going to go any further than this because this looks like rattlesnake heaven. But you can see the old rails that they would put the carts on to haul supplies in and haul elements out. Definitely not going to go in there. But this was still worth getting out, walking down, and taking a peek. It is easily 15 degrees cooler in here. Go back in here a little bit, kind of against my own advice. Looks like there's a tunnel that goes to the right and one that goes straight in there. I'm not going to spend too much time in here though. Probably bears, mountain lions, something in here want to eat me. So we're going to head out. Just as I was getting ready to head back out, I was like, you know what? I'm going to take a quick water break and just hang out in here. Could you imagine if as I'm talking to the camera, something in the...
A mine entrance, small, barely visible, tucked into the base of a slope that looks manageable from the air, but is anything but once you're standing on it. Jesse carefully works his way down and locates the mine exactly where the drone had pinpointed it, an old opening with corroded rail tracks still embedded in the ground, left over from the days when workers hauled ore in and out by the cartload. He doesn't venture deep, just far enough to get a sense of what's inside. One passage curves off to the right, another disappears straight down into total darkness. This is the kind of place where rattlesnakes, bears, and mountain lions make their home. People too, for that matter. So it's not somewhere you linger. Back at the vehicle, something starts nagging at him. The mine he just explored isn't the same one he filmed from the drone a year ago. He gets the drone back in the air, and sure enough, a second mine comes into view, then a third, and then, finally, he finds it.
Far away from these mines, I found exactly what I was looking for. This was the blue Mazda that I found last year, and it raised some great concerns in the comments section of my other video. If you look closely, you can see that 3 of the 4 car doors have been opened, as if after the crash, who was ever in the car made it out. But this is where the plot thickens. I scanned the guardrails to see if any sections of them had been replaced, or if some of them looked newer than others, to indicate this is where the car plowed through the rails. But I couldn't find any evidence of that. And if the Mazda did plow through the rails and Arizona Department of Transportation did fix them, why would they not remove the car? There are dozens of other car wrecks down here. Most of them are probably 30, 40 to 50 years old and further down the canyon, so I can see why they wouldn't remove those. But why not this one? And on top of that, I scoured the internet for hours looking for any articles or news headlines that talked about a blue Mazda crashing into the Salt River Canyon, but nothing surfaced. I did do my best to zoom in and see if there were any bodies still in the car, but from what I could see, there weren't. But there is always the trunk. Now, what I did see were 4 tires with some pretty good-looking tread and a shiny catalytic converter. Just kidding. Or am I? But when I do come back out here to check out the mines, I'm going to try to hike down to the Mazda and take a closer look, see if there is anything in the trunk, and try to pull a license plate or VIN number. But what do you guys think happened here? Be sure to let me know down in the comments. My money says that the car was stolen and whoever was driving the car was either drunk or a really crappy driver. And once the car landed down in the canyon, they all crawled out, probably unscathed, and decided that although it's an unfortunate situation that they're in, it would be best if they did not report it. And most importantly,
Jesse is already planning a return trip. Next time, he wants to hike all the way down to the Mazda and possibly look inside the trunk, not for the sake of drama, but because he wants real answers. He wraps up the journey at Gold King Mine Ghost Town. This wasn't a video built around treasure hunting or ghost story theatrics. It was about paying attention to what's already sitting out there waiting to be noticed. The abandoned wreckage, the half-forgotten mines, the loose ends that nobody ever tied up. As always, drop your thoughts down below.
On a sun-drenched day, along a blustery coastal peninsula, a traveler raised his phone to record a centuries-old stone fortress, originally constructed in 1725. 300 years haven't weakened those walls one bit, but their durability wasn't what unsettled him. He and his brother had been joking around about the site's history when an inexplicable sense of dread washed.
Yeah. Oh my god. So, this looks wonderful. Jesus. You ready?
Yeah. Hell yeah. Dude, I don't know.
Things shifted fast though, when a man suddenly stepped out and confronted them. He told them he was actually living inside the building and made it abundantly clear they had no business being there. The exchange escalated in a hurry, and he demanded they get off the property immediately.
By someone who I definitely bet does not live here. We didn't even see him. He was just yelling at us. So, you know, might as well. But that does look like legit like the coolest place we could have gone into here.
The explorers did leave at that point, but rather than letting the whole thing go, they made the decision to head back.
To the house because I realized that it like really hurt my ego that like he just yelled at us, get out, and we were like, okay, yeah, sure. Like that kind of doesn't live there. That doesn't live there. And like I just think it's really unfair that
Shaken by the run-in and convinced they had been on the receiving end of harassment, they started recording the man from a distance and called the police to report what had happened.
So yeah, anyways, we're gonna try and get onto the property. Well, not. We're gonna stand at the thing and we're gonna film him. And then I'm gonna tell him that I'm calling the cops on him because, harassment, and I'm a child. I'll give you 5 minutes to leave or I'm calling the police. I'll watch.
That choice only cranked up the tension at the scene. When officers eventually showed up, they took stock of the situation and told the explorers to walk away rather than keep the confrontation going. After everything settled down, the pair returned to their cruise ship and departed Cairns, later saying the whole ordeal had genuinely rattled them. Safe to say, this one didn't go to plan.
A woman decided to photograph the demolition of an aging school building. When she went back through her pictures afterward, one particular shot stopped her cold. There, slightly left of center in the hallway, was a dark, silhouetted shape, half swallowed by the shadows. The unsettling part, the area had already been cleared, and no workers were anywhere close to that spot.
This is in Carmel. This great old house. Someone told me that it's the Murphy house. I don't know who the Murphys were, but I don't think they've lived here for a while because it looks pretty deserted. But it must have been gorgeous in its stay. It's absolutely, I could just imagine walking around here in some fancy dress or something and just...
Peering through one of the windows, you can make out the face of a child, ashen complexion, and unblinking gaze not moving a single muscle. The figure lingers for only a brief moment, as though it's keeping watch. There are those who claim this estate holds a long and sinister past, and perhaps whatever showed up behind that glass never truly moved on.
A woman who typically posts ordinary glimpses of her everyday life on social media did something completely out of character in 2021. She uploaded...
We picked it up under here, and we carried it out, and when I flipped it over, guess what I discovered? Holy fucking shit. And I stuck my hands under there.
One night, the mother picked up on a strange sound coming from that direction, and she immediately pulled up the camera's live feed to check on things. What she witnessed stopped her cold. A toy had slid out from beneath the bed on its own. She didn't waste a second, rushing straight into the room and dropping to the floor to see what could have moved it. There was nothing. Group of paranormal researchers from Brazil set out to explore one of the most infamous derelict buildings in the country. The facility carries a deeply troubling past, with widespread accounts of satanic experiments allegedly carried out on its patients. Countless people who have ventured inside report hearing wails and sobbing reverberating through the hollow hallways. The team records their journey as they push further into the crumbling structure. Then, as they make their way down a staircase, something brings them...
Estaba pensando ahora que sería muy interesante grabar este vídeo de esta casa por dentro y casi me voy a atrever a entrar y...
From the pitch black of a nearby doorway, a ghostly face with luminous white eyes slowly materializes. The figure holds its gaze on the investigators for several long seconds before vanishing back into the darkness. Even with no light source anywhere nearby, those eyes seem to generate their own eerie glow, and the team stands completely frozen, visibly rattled by what they're witnessing. Moments later, when they finally work up the nerve to approach that doorway and look inside, there is absolutely nothing there. No trace of whatever appeared, and no clue as to where it disappeared. The building has sat empty for decades, entirely without power or lighting of any kind, yet something with self-illuminating eyes had been peering at them from the dark. The team went on to investigate.
Ningún tipo de insectos. Estamos en la cocina. Se puede ver cómo ellos vaciaron toda la cocina rápidamente para irse corriendo. Está todo abierto. No han vuelto por esta casa. Yo no sé qué decir, pero pueden ver todavía pertenencias. Es raro. Esto nunca se lo llevaron. No quiero alejarme mucho de la puerta, la verdad. Oh, esto está horrible, este lado. No sé cómo puede estar tan horrible en poco tiempo. Una de las cosas que noto es que hay un olor que está horrible. Como...
Deep inside the house, he came across a bedroom concealing a hidden closet. The people who'd lived there had always described feeling some kind of presence concentrated in that exact spot and had refused to open it for as long as they'd occupied the home. Santiago opened it anyway. As he pushed further through the rooms, his unease continued to build. That same putrid, decaying smell crept back in one particular area. The walls were covered in strange gouges and scratch marks, as though something had been desperately clawing at them. These marks appeared all over the house and looked like nothing that could be easily explained. Then the sound started, reverberating through the empty halls. Something or someone was in there with him. He could feel it. The whole ordeal left Santiago genuinely rattled.
Puedo decir, hay ruidos. Ahí hay unos ruidos que estoy oyendo, como unos clac, clac. Es muy extraño. Y esto es lo que es la casa. Estas personas estuvieron aquí viviendo unos 2-3 años y me llamaron, dijeron que la tuvieron que abandonar porque definitivamente algo raro estaba ocurriendo. Cuando abandonaron la casa, no la abandonaron a las 2 de la mañana, después de que ocurrió, según ellos, cosas muy raras. Pero bueno, yo he querido venir, grabar el vídeo y ver, un poquito, de todo lo que está ocurriendo en esta casa. Yo no creo, pero bueno, esta es la casa. Es muy, muy interesante. Y mejor me voy saliendo ya de la casa. Pero otra vez, si necesitan comprar una casa, siempre miren el historial de las casas. Es muy importante, ¿ok? Saludos otra vez.
On his way out, he left his viewers with a warning. Always look into a property's past before signing anything. It could matter far more than you'd expect. Whether any of this crosses into paranormal territory is still open to interpretation, but one fact remains undisputed. That house never sold. Vacant
group of students had gathered in an empty classroom, killing time before their next lesson. With nothing better to do, they started swapping ghost stories, laughing and trying to get a rise out of each other. It all seemed like innocent fun in the stillness of that quiet room, but within just a few minutes, the mood shifted entirely. See for yourself what the camera captured. Along a blustery coastal peninsula, a traveler raised his phone to record a centuries-old stone fortress, originally constructed in 1725. 300 years haven't weakened those walls one bit, but their durability wasn't what unsettled him. He and his brother had been joking around about the site's history when an inexplicable sense of dread washed over them.
Things shifted fast, though.
Yeah, look, we've got cars and sheds there.
Loads of cars, mate.
Just outside the cabin sat what could only be described as an automotive graveyard, corroded old vehicles piled on top of one another. But once they made it to the cabin itself, they spotted their first red flag, suggesting they might not be the only ones there, something that felt deeply out of place for a home whose owner had long since died.
It's like a horror film, Ed. He's got to do it. There's someone in there. How do you know? I heard noise. This is like a horror film, mate.
Is that you, babe? Did you just sit there? Oh, you
Once inside, they discovered the power was still running, which immediately raised the possibility that somebody might be present. Nobody turned up, but it was a clear indicator that someone had been through there not long ago. As they pushed further into the property, an uneasy feeling began to creep over the group. Down one of the hallways, they spotted a series of droplets that looked, at first glance, like blood.
Oh, yeah. That does look like blood. Do you reckon now? I'll just put my hands on the murder weapon. An idiot. Go that way. I'll have to hide that. Have you checked? Oh, what? Let's have a look. Get a fucking torch. It's locked. Oh, you're back out there, aren't you? Yeah, well, this was where the blood was, look, Ed. That was paint, where they painted the doors.
It ended up being nothing more than paint dripping from the doors. But then, something else grabbed their attention entirely. Certain rooms looked almost lived in, as though a person had been using the space until very recently. And then, just moments after that realization sank in, a sound from outside sent their adrenaline through the roof. See for yourself what happened next.
Left, innit? Oh. This car's out. They're opening the gates. Which way? Hang on, which way do we go? Go that way. Don't let him see you, don't let him see you. Let's get out of here. That was a bit, maybe they get the door open. Door open quick.
They bolted straight to their vehicle and got out of there fast, all while the man who had just arrived stood watching them, caught on their own camera as they fled. Nobody knows who he was or what might have gone down had they stuck around any longer. The real question is whether they had unknowingly wandered into someone's actual home, or whether the stranger who appeared was simply another explorer doing exactly what they were doing. Had it turned out to be the property owner, things could have turned very ugly very quickly. Fortunately, they made it out without incident. What's beyond dispute is that if the place was genuinely occupied, the group had absolutely no clue. The creator is upfront in his channel description that they never force their way into any location they visit, which strongly suggests they had every reason to believe the house was abandoned.
Mansfield Reformatory in Ohio is a place with a heavy past. Construction on this enormous facility first broke ground back in 1886, and over the decades, what was originally intended as a place of rehabilitation gradually transformed into something far more sinister, an institution plagued by overcrowding, brutality, and conditions no human being should endure. Thanks to that grim legacy and countless reports of paranormal encounters spanning many years, it's now widely regarded as one of the most...
The hallway of this place, I don't exactly know what these buildings were for, at least this specific one, but you know, it is really trashed. Really trashed. This place probably was a kindergarten school right here. As you can see, we have the chalkboard, you know, some cool stuff. I mean, I know this definitely was an old school, you know, besides the chalkboard. I mean, this is where kids probably put their stuff.
Right in front of him, one of the cell doors began swinging back and forth with real force. The man shut his eyes and edged himself closer to get a better look. But the motion of that door, the rhythm of it, the way it moved, looked exactly like...
Yo, you okay?
Dude, check this out, dude. This is a real ammunition.
Holy shit, dude. Look, they're all right here, too.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That's crazy.
I didn't even know they were this big.
Actually, me either. Whole bunch of gun bullets. People must have been like literally practicing their shooting here. I mean, there are thousands and thousands of bullet holes, yo.
Seems like a lot of people have been shooting through these lockers.
It was obvious someone had converted the school into a makeshift firing range well after it closed, but the strange discoveries didn't stop there. Among other things, they came across a small kitchenette still cluttered with old cookware and cassette tapes. A sunroom with overturned benches and a piano slowly rotting where it stood.
I mean, look at this, guys. People would literally sit...
And even a modest stage that hinted the school had hosted theatrical performances at some point.
We're finding a little mini theater over here.
Then, stepping into a separate wing, the group was immediately hit by an overwhelming stomach-turning odor.
I'll smell it now. This is awful. Oh shit. What the hell?
Yo.
This is serious.
Guys, this is... I've never seen anything like this.
It smells nasty.
What the hell? And it's still wet, guys. This is fresh. Blood.
That is not blood. I don't know what it is.
It smells nasty.
Let's touching that.
Look at the duct tape.
Dude, that is insane.
Dude, this is...
Spread across the floor was a fresh, dark, wet substance surrounded by carefully arranged strips of duct tape. The whole setup looked intentional, and far too recent to write off as old graffiti or casual vandalism. Josh described it as insane, concluding they were standing in what appeared to be the aftermath of an actual satanic ritual. Just a month later, they went back, but this time the experience played out very differently.
Shit, dude. More. You see anyone in here? Making sure. See, there's more. My god, dude. See? There's even more stuff. See, who knows what goes on around here?
Certain classrooms appeared almost eerily untouched, with desks still in neat rows and things like construction blueprints and Halloween crafts still sitting right where they'd been left.
The classroom. So, dude, God, we're in a real old classroom right now. Their desk right here, a map. Look at that, the whole classroom. Dude, a freezer. Is it a dead body? I hope not. Oh! Oh, look at that Halloween stuff. The arts and...
The crew even spotted bloodstains on the floor, and then the silence was shattered when a door slowly swung open by itself, only to slam shut seconds later.
Oh my god, did you get that on tape? That is insane. Oh my god, another door just closed.
On top of that, nearly every wall in the surrounding area had been marked with some kind of painted symbol.
Shit, we're just standing on another satanic thing. And this is going on? Dude, upside down crosses? Oh my god. Only...
As they made their way toward the exit, the unsettling finds kept coming. There were piles of bird feathers suggesting carcasses had been stripped clean right there on the spot.
Pretty much all these bird feathers, people must have came in here and just take the birds and just plucked them, all their feathers right off. I mean, look at this, guys. Just all left here.
Discolored showers and bathrooms, and a chute that once funneled laundry down into the basement below.
Laundry chute? Oh my god.
Deeper in another wing, signs of a former medical ward began to surface. Mounting brackets for a surgical light, an x-ray station, and shelving that had once stored medicine.
It's pretty crazy to know like how much history has been right in these rooms. God. The x-ray room or something. I mean, the bed would have been right here, and they would have put the light and shine it right over you and probably operate on you and stuff. Medication. So this was some kind of hospital. Inside.
Buried beneath the rubble, the crew uncovered remains that served as a sobering reminder of just how long this place had been forgotten.
Documenting all this is all unedited tunnel right now. Just make sure if something happens.
As they ventured into the network of tunnels running beneath the campus, Josh made a comment to the camera that was equal parts joke and genuine concern. Months after that, he came back for a third and final time. Walking through the ritual spaces again, he noticed that some of the wax drippings and markings had nearly dried up entirely, and that certain pieces of furniture had been rearranged.
See? This was the devil that was, you know, the symbol. Here it is. The chair that we've seen that was in the symbol, that was in blood, or whatever it was. Right outside the place, the duct tape is still on the chair, right here. All you can see now is whatever this mark is left. A couple of red dots, and that's it.
Looking back on it all, Josh has called this abandoned school one of the most deeply unsettling places he has ever explored. And what none of them fully grasped when they first walked through those doors was how close they might have been to whoever is still making use of those halls. Which brings us to the one question that lingers. When do you think this satanic site was last active? Let us know what you think down in the comments. Following unsettling footage comes from Uncharted Expeditions, an American urban exploration channel focused on abandoned hospitals, schools, and crumbling structures with deeply atmospheric interiors. The date is September 11th, 2020, somewhere in the United States, at an undisclosed and partially deteriorated hospital complex.
Just wait till they close. Yeah. Imagine not knowing that was like that.
Kobe, you think that?
Hey, guys, it says something. I don't know what Dr. Lange is. Holy shit. I did that last time.
The crew makes their way into the building, moving through a hushed, dripping hallway. The sound of running water carries from somewhere deep within, blending with strange chemical smells and the stagnant air of rooms that haven't been touched in years. Old refrigerators, scattered files, and broken equipment remain exactly where they were abandoned. The group checks elevators and emergency exits, speaking in low voices about the chance that others might have found their way inside. There's a heaviness to the quiet that feels almost inhabited.
It's still running water. You smell like those in here, boy.
With every step further in, something about the place feels increasingly off. Water is still flowing. That smell won't go away. Certain objects look like they've been shifted recently. The building may be abandoned, but it doesn't feel unoccupied.
It's the freezer. It's because the freezer's open.
Going out, bro. It's open. It's going from. It's cold in here, bro. Dude, look at this shit.
Oh yeah, it's the degree. It's the That's literally shit. I'm out, bro.
You see little girls' bands. Like men's boots. Okay, so if more people have been here, then we're good, right?
Should be. We'll find the fire extinguisher. What do you mean? We're gonna find more of them so we can spare one.
Let's look up here.
Ryan, do you have your mask off?
Yeah.
Why?
Because hot.
Already had it going. Look, other people's like in here, bro. Then this doesn't move. Oh, very good. Ethan, no, not there. Because these doors probably locked. Bro, I'll help y'all when you're ready. But y'all quit leaving me, bro. We gotta get out here. What you just honestly I'm kicking a window. What the fuck? I don't see Couches? Look, there's 3 couches. Yeah, I'm taking a shower while I'm going. Yeah, I'm gonna get all that stuff from Jordan's date. They're popping up all. Look. Caution, radiation area.
Eventually, they arrive at a freezer corridor where the temperature plunges. Ice clings to the walls, a radiation warning sign looms over a doorway, and their breath hangs visible in the frigid air. The dawning awareness that this area once contained something hazardous transforms their mood from adventurous curiosity into something closer to dread.
Whoa! I just show your face like here. The hell's burning my nose? Hey, let's go through there.
The hallways fold into each other in a disorienting tangle. The light grows thin, the air feels thick. Nothing about the layout adds up, and the team begins to wonder whether they're actually alone in here, whether something is moving just beyond their line of sight.
Is it really? Pretty sure. Oh no, dude. What? Heck no.
Fire extinguishers appear to have been tampered with, documents are strewn across the floor, and the evidence is hard to ignore. Someone has been here, and not long ago. That's enough. The decision is made to get out before things escalate. Once outside, the cold open air feels like relief compared to the suffocating stillness they've just left behind. No apparition materialized, no figure drifted across the frame. Yet, the disorienting layout, the sub-zero rooms, and the fresh signs of recent activity make this one of the most rattling locations they've ever explored. In places like this, the real danger isn't always supernatural. Sometimes it's the possibility that you're not as alone as you think. That footage comes from the TikTok page MV Urbex, a content creator who's built a following around haunting, atmospheric walkthroughs of abandoned structures throughout the United States. His channel typically deals in forgotten places, peeling walls, corroded relics, and the heavy silence that settles over spaces left to rot. But what he caught this time shattered that silence completely. What began as a standard outing with a companion took a sharp and unsettling turn. They'd stepped inside a massive, crumbling shell of a building. Dark, still, seemingly deserted. It didn't stay that way for long.
Do something! Hey, do something, bro!
From inside one of the locked buildings, an audio recording can be heard looping continuously, despite the fact that no one appears to be present. After one
Do something! Hey, do something, bro!
There was no room to think it through, just pure adrenaline and raw instinct, the kind of split-second experience that stays with you for years. For anyone in the urban exploration world, this is the fear that nobody likes to talk about. Not the supernatural, not creaking floors in the dark, but actual people. People who consider that space theirs and have no interest in company. No backstory was given beyond the video itself, just a short caption reading, "Never exploring an abandoned building again." And once you've seen the footage, that reaction makes complete sense. That structure wasn't vacant, it was claimed territory, and whoever was inside was prepared to protect it. We never find out exactly how things played out, whether they slipped out through a back exit or managed to de-escalate the situation, but hopefully they got out without a scratch. What's undeniable though is that this footage serves as a stark wake-up call. In urban exploration, the real threat doesn't always lurk in the darkness or behind some crumbling wall. Sometimes it comes straight at you, furious, volatile, and completely unpredictable. Because when you step into these abandoned places, you're not guaranteed to be alone, and you're not. Dusty attic in Bavaria, Germany, concealed a discovery nobody could have prepared for. A woman by the name of Ludwika Schmidt had come into ownership of her grandfather's home and farmland. While going through the contents of the attic, she stumbled upon a box shaped like a coffin. Inside was a desiccated corpse with razor-sharp teeth and unusual perforations in its jaw, markings traditionally associated with vampire folklore. The state of preservation was remarkable, as though time itself had stood still. Researchers at Munich's Museum of Natural History stepped in to investigate. Analysis revealed human DNA intertwined with something that couldn't be identified. Those findings sent a wave of dread through the scientific community. It raised the unsettling possibility that vampire legends aren't simply myths, but something far more deeply buried in reality. In May 2022, a content creator who goes by Ricky posted a spine-chilling video called Terrifying Experiences in Tri-City Hospital on his YouTube channel, Paranormal Adventures. The channel is entirely focused on venturing into haunted and forsaken locations, capturing unsettling moments, and digging into things that can't easily be explained. In this particular upload, Ricky and a security guard set out to explore the notorious Tri-City Hospital, a long derelict medical facility somewhere in the southern United States. The building dates back to the 1950s and operated for several decades before ultimately closing its doors in the early 2000s, brought down by financial collapse and serious allegations of malpractice. Ever since it shut, the structure has slowly crumbled, drawing in urban explorers and paranormal enthusiasts from all over. None of that history was enough to deter Ricky, who headed inside late at night alongside the security guard, ghost hunting gear in hand. The video opens with the two of them slipping into the building through the basement, where the silence is almost suffocating. Nothing but the hollow echo of their footsteps moving through pitch black, narrow passageways.
There might be deep puddles. Just be careful.
So there's like a certain current around you right now that's generating power.
Oh, wow.
And that's kind of impossible when there's nothing in front of you.
Yeah, there's also a little globe that appears on a lot of the cameras on the ground floor and around the outside of the hospital. It's this little ball of light, and it's only visible on the cameras.
Oh, really?
It's a little bright white light that just follows. It jumps from camera to camera, and the cameras are like 100 yards apart. Easy.
Gotcha. I don't know if I ever captured your story, but could you repeat that story again?
Just the footprints of a little girl barefoot, and they just lead out of puddles and pools of water, just leading away from, I don't even know.
Yeah.
They would just stop unexplainably. There would be nothing on the cameras, nothing like that. No one breaking in or out.
And what do you think that might be? Well, you don't believe in ghosts at all.
I don't believe in ghosts. No, not even working here.
Clearly shaken, the mother swings the camera around to face the tree, and what it captures is nothing.
Objects look like they've been shifted recently. The building may be abandoned, but it doesn't feel unoccupied. Eventually, they arrive at a freezer corridor where the temperature plunges. Ice clings to the walls, a radiation warning sign looms over a doorway, and their breath hangs visible in the frigid air. The dawning awareness that this area once contained.
Yeah, I feel like whatever is in here is following us. Because that's
The old security guard actually quit because of that. He said that that little girl would follow him around and she would throw a ball. She would like roll random objects to play catch with him apparently.
Oh wow.
To play with him. A lot of creepy stuff down here too. I don't like walking through this part because it's like a maze.
Oh shit. What the hell? What the?
There's a prop skeleton too.
Oh my god, this is unreal. This is probably like a prank.
There was that blood, it's not, there's a couple pools in there that aren't fake blood. Those ones under that bag, that's not fake blood, that it was coagulating. I actually notified the local police department, they came and checked it out.
Yeah.
because it was still wet, and then now it's dry. Fake blood doesn't do that. It doesn't coagulate, it doesn't turn brown. It stays bright red like on that skeleton. So that all in there. And see, that's clearly fake blood, but the rest of that, I don't think so.
No figures, no animals, not a single thing out of the ordinary, yet the little boy won't back down, insisting he can clearly see a girl, completely still, suspended from one of the branches.
The layout adds up, and the team begins to wonder whether they're actually alone in here, whether something is moving just beyond their line of sight. Fire extinguishers appear to have been tampered with, documents are strewn across the floor, and the evidence is hard to ignore.
Have your dogs ever seen anything around here or act weird?
They'll bark and I'll always go check it out and there's nothing there. They don't like coming in, they don't like letting me come in here at night either.
Oh, it's like they know and they want to protect you. I'm getting a good solid...
See, that,
yeah.
That noise.
Sounds like wheelchairs and stuff, like squeaks. Just want to get that thunder.
Hear that?
That's walking. But earlier that was walking for sure. Have you ever heard that before?
Yeah. But then I go to check it out and there's nothing there. So I think I'm crazy. They were shooting at something at that wall.
I've never seen this many bullets in an abandoned place before.
There's another one over here.
Can you see us here? It just turned on in my book bag, dude. Why are you coming up? What the fuck? They said, why are you coming up? I don't know if you got that.
To make things even more disturbing, the text caption accompanying the video later revealed that the child went on to describe the scene further, saying it looked as though someone had hanged the girl from the branch by her neck. Surveillance
drifted across the frame, yet the disorienting layout, the sub-zero rooms, and the fresh signs of recent activity make this one of the most rattling locations they've ever explored.
Once it hits midnight, 1 o'clock, that's when the shit gets wild. I don't come in here. I have my dog and my gun.
What the fuck was that?
So I have my gun now. I have my dog and my gun.
Hell no, dude. What the hell? That sounded like a baby or like a little. Oh, what the fuck? It sounded like in there.
Oh shit! Fucking shit! God fucking. No sir. No sir.
Oh shit!
I want to grab my gun.
It's literally 11, like 12 o'clock, like you said. It gets wild.
Told you. That's why I have my gun in here. It's 12 o'clock.
Hello?
It throws shit. It slams doors. And once you open the door, it's fucking chaos from there.
And we're the only ones in here. Dude, there's no one in here.
You gonna open it?
Yeah, I'll open it. What the I saw this door move. Oh shit! There's no one in there, dude. No way. There's no one in there. There's no one. Nobody in there.
I told you.
I had a...
my gun.
The deeper they go, the more the activity ramps up. From somewhere in the empty corridors comes the unmistakable sound of a baby crying, bouncing off the walls in every direction. They tear through the area searching for any rational explanation, but come up empty. No living thing, no child, nothing. Then Ricky enters a long, lightless hallway and the knocking starts. Sharp, deliberate sounds coming from multiple directions at once, before a door crashes shut somewhere nearby. They scramble to check every room but find no one. Between the relentless, unexplained sounds and the crushing weight of the atmosphere around them, it becomes too much to endure. Shaking, Ricky calls it and gets them both out of there. The moment they step outside, the heaviness that had been pressing down on them begins to ease, but neither of them walks away unaffected. Ricky takes a moment to reflect on everything that unfolded that night. Feeling rattled yet strangely wired, he went into Tri-City Hospital looking for the truth, and all he came out with was a whole new set of questions he couldn't answer. Project Amber is a channel well known for documenting travel adventures, van life, and the occasional spine-chilling experience. On May 4th, 2018, the creator posted a video that began as a straightforward vlog about a broken fridge and gradually spiraled into something deeply unsettling. The footage starts with the creator pulled over in an isolated mountain forest somewhere in France, trying to troubleshoot their camper's refrigeration unit. The fridge had completely stopped functioning, and after doing some research, they landed on an old school fix, flipping the fridge upside down for a period of time to reset the cooling mechanism. While working through the problem, they also chatted about a few other nagging issues with the van, including a drooping side step and a busted HDMI cable. At that point, it all felt pretty routine, just another chapter in the life of a road dweller. But then, without any warning, their dog locked onto something beyond the tree line.
Right, so I'm pretty sure with a house fridge, if you move it, you're supposed to leave it like 12 or 24 hours to settle, for the gas to settle. Now I've just flipped it upside down and back again, so I'm going to give it the full 24 hours, I think, to... What are you looking at? You keep freaking me out, dog. There's no one over there.
The creator couldn't ignore it, pointing out that the dog was staring deep into the forest with an almost unblinking intensity, as though tracking something completely invisible to them. It was strange enough to make the hair stand up, though they tried to rationalize it as a woodland creature passing through. Shortly after, the creator brought up a well sitting just off a narrow path near where they'd parked.
Well, just where I'm parked, you go down this little track, and there's a well with a big metal bar on it. And originally I was going to go and park there, and I saw the well, instantly started thinking about the ring, which when I was about, I think it was about 10 when it came out, scared the shit out of me.
The well was sealed shut with a heavy metal bar and gave off the distinct feeling of something long forgotten, a relic left to decay in the middle of nowhere. Just the image of a solitary camper van beside an ancient abandoned well in a thick forest was enough to set the mood. What followed only made things worse. As evening settled in and they tried to wind down, strange sounds began filtering in from outside. Then, just as suddenly, the natural ambience of the forest went completely quiet. In that hollow silence, a figure materialized among the trees.
Okay, I'm seriously freaked out now. A minute ago I could hear like really loud moaning, like just booming across the mountains. So I've come down to where I could hear it. I got to this old well and it stopped. I mean, that thing's wild freaky. It's like something out of the Ring. But just as soon as I got here, just from over there, there's no track or anything, it's just wood. This girl appeared.
dressed like kind of like a monk, no shoes, no hair.
The moment was fleeting but impossible to dismiss. A girl was standing in the woods, half hidden behind the trunks, silently watching the van from a distance. Before the creator could even process what they were seeing, she was gone, swallowed up by the darkness. They scrambled for their camera and swept it toward the trees, desperate to catch any trace of movement, but there was nothing, just stillness. The whole encounter left them deeply shaken. Being stranded in such a remote stretch of mountains only amplified the dread. If she was simply a hiker passing through, why had she vanished so abruptly? Why hadn't she made a sound or acknowledged them at all? Sleep didn't come easily that night. Every small noise the van made sent their thoughts crashing back to that figure among the trees. Come morning, they ventured outside, hoping logic might offer some comfort, but the forest gave them nothing. No tracks, no trace, no evidence that another soul had ever been there. What started as a video about fixing a fridge ended up preserving something far more disturbing on camera. Even now, the creator has no answer for what was lurking in those woods that night. Exploring with Angelo has built a reputation for venturing into derelict buildings, long-forgotten institutions, and locations most people wouldn't dare enter. But this particular outing turned out to be something else entirely. On May 28, 1992, the camera rolled as Angelo and his partner made their way into a sprawling abandoned school complex in Quebec, a facility that had been shut down for years. The second they walked through the door, something didn't feel right. Their footsteps rang out a little too sharply, the echoes bouncing around in a way that made it nearly impossible to pinpoint where the sound was even coming from. Moving further in, they found hallway after hallway stretching endlessly ahead, wing upon wing, corridor upon corridor. It was also unusually warm inside, something Angelo noticed and commented on almost straight away.
Amazing how hot it is in here. No AC running. Oh, I think we're running into Mo now.
Every corner they turned pulled them deeper into the complex, and with each step, the unease kept building. Almost immediately, the warnings they'd been given before arriving started coming back to them. Fellow explorers had told stories of people actually living inside the school, armed with sticks and ready to chase off anyone who wandered too close. Those accounts had seemed like standard urbex folklore at the time, but then the evidence started appearing.
You sure? I thought I heard something from down there earlier.
Oh, someone's coming. I see a shadow, I think.
Do you?
I thought I did. I don't know if it's the people with the sticks.
I don't know.
Buckets were arranged along the hallways in odd formations. The washroom showed signs of recent use, and a faint trace of cigarette smoke hung in the air.
That's weird. Huh. This is so weird. There's no one here. But there's all these like buckets in the hallway there. Yeah.
The sound came from here.
Yeah.
100%.
They got a pretty well stocked washroom.
Oh, look at that. It's interesting. Spirits and demons do like to live. It smells like cigarettes.
Pressing on, the sheer scale of the building began to sink in. Dormitory-style sections emerged, with row after row of small rooms lining the corridors.
Just there, though.
No idea where we are.
You know what? These are probably the dorms, so they probably seal off the main level from the dorms.
Possibly.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like a prison though.
Yeah.
We're heading upstairs now, guys. I don't know what to expect.
Where does this go? Oh, this is a hallway.
Second floor?
I think so.
Make sure there's no cameras.
Yeah. Looks good. Yeah, kinda.
People would sleep here, I guess.
Oh, wow. I know there's an area that has a bunch of like beds and everything, so definitely want to find that.
Then they descended into the basement, and what greeted them down there genuinely brought them to a halt.
A mess down here, dude. Oh, there we go. I think that's a hallway to connect to the other area. Man, this area has seen better days. Yeah. Ding ding. Oh my gosh. This is like kind of gnarly. This was like a filing area, I think. No, just a dead end. Yeah.
Entire rooms were strewn with scattered documents, the floors buried under layers of debris, and the stench coming from the washroom was nearly overwhelming. The kitchen still had its equipment left in place, and remnants of old food sat untouched on the shelves.
What's in here? Oh, that's creepy. Oh, it stinks. What does that smell?
Cool stink here.
Why?
Smells like someone's been here. Someone that hasn't bathed in a very long time.
Yeah.
What the hell? What's this place?
I don't know.
Like keys everywhere?
Oh, that's why it stinks. Oh my god.
What?
Don't look in that bathroom.
Really?
Yeah. It stinks.
Oh, yeah. I can't resist.
I knew you were gonna do it too.
Destroyed the toilet in there.
Oh, nasty.
Sorry for the low energy, guys, but I don't know who's waiting around this. I don't know who's waiting for us around certain corners. So we're trying to keep it down. This is like a...
Beyond that was a cafeteria large enough to seat hundreds, still packed with equipment and adjoining storage rooms. Motion sensors were even triggering on their own at random, which did nothing to ease the tension.
That was creepy. Motion sensors.
Why is this place so scary?
I don't know.
It's so terrifying.
It's just got a really high creep level factor for some reason.
Like, am I just rusty? Having been to abandoned places in a long time?
No, this is
It's been since like...
definitely creepy.
It's been months since I've been to an abandoned.
Motion sensor.
Yeah.
Then both of them picked up on something. Voices, music, and strange, unexplained sounds drifting out of rooms that turned out to be completely empty.
Music. Do you hear that? No. I heard something. Is it from back there? I changed my battery. So yeah, I thought I heard something from down here, but the coast is looking clear as far as we know.
Near the end of the exploration, tension reached its peak. A brief scream echoed in the distance after a whistle blew somewhere. Fear finally took control as the realization set in that someone stood nearby, hidden just out of sight.
This one we're about to leave. Oh, what the f is that? What was that?
I don't know. Something was rumbling too. What the f was
I
that?
hear a rumble too, yeah.
Just as we're about to leave. Yeah. Huh.
Making their way out of the theater where that unsettling noise had come from, they turned a corner and came face to face with a room that was clearly still occupied.
So this proves that someone's been living here.
Oh, wow.
And this is the person that attacks people.
Holy crap.
Lives here. Oh my god. Watch out for
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. Definitely, this is gross. It stinks so bad.
Oh yeah, it's nasty. Look at all this, all the cigarette butts.
So, this proves the story about the people who live in the States. Oh my god. We got more beds.
Oh yeah?
More rooms, more beds.
Oh shit. Oh yeah.
There's a cat for a needle in here. This is pretty crazy.
Whoa. That's nice.
Yeah, I don't want to stay here too long.
Yeah.
It smells fresh, like it smells like someone.
Wow.
Footage was captured in Chile, at a construction site, somewhere in the dead of night. The man behind the camera is working the overnight shift. By all accounts, he's the security guard assigned to keep watch over the premises, but he claims something has shifted at that location. Strange sounds with no clear source, doors swinging open on their own, and a persistent sense that somebody is moving through the site, even during hours when nobody else should be present. He insists that to truly grasp what's going on there, you have to watch carefully, particularly the doors. So with that said, here's what the camera picked up.
Y bueno, ahí aprovechamos de seguir avanzando. Para allá sería donde vamos a ir ahora en este momento. Así que nos vamos con harto ojo.
While he's sweeping the area for a possible intruder, something catches him completely off guard. For just a split second, a dark figure flickers into view down the corridor. It's fast, easy to miss if you blink. He sprints toward that exact spot to investigate, but finds absolutely nothing waiting for him. Just a long, empty hallway, completely still and silent. He describes feeling something hit him in that moment, an abrupt, unexplained chill. Despite that, he pushes forward and continues looking around. Then, things take an even darker turn.
¿Quién anda ahí?
Len later came forward to confirm that unusual activity throughout the house had suddenly intensified. She's convinced that some kind of unknown presence, possibly a shapeshifter, has made itself at home there. A massive number of viewers share that belief. The camera distortion, the name being called before dawn, the warped appearance, the figure emerging on the wall, it all points to something sinister toying with her. So what do you think was really behind that voice? Leave your theory below.
Strange sounds began filtering in from outside. Then, just as suddenly, November 2025, YouTuber 2Swag and his crew broke into Lake Forest Mall, once among the biggest shopping destinations on the East Coast, pulling in over 10 million visitors annually, now deteriorating so severely that entire wings had transformed into indoor flood zones. Ever since a T-Mobile worker was violently attacked on the premises back in 2022, the mall had been under round-the-clock surveillance with guards and cameras stationed throughout, and people had reportedly been arrested just for attempting to get inside. The group managed to slip in through a rear entrance, and right away it became clear this place was going to be something else entirely. Jewelry was still resting in display cases, unopened merchandise lined the shelves, and somewhere deep within the structure an alarm was screaming continuously.
There's a Sears over there. This is like apocalypse. This is way bigger than I thought it was. I thought this doesn't seem way too good to be true. What's way too good to be true? That alarm might actually be us. What do you think? I don't know. I think it might be because of the devil. That might also be true. Whoa. Dude, look at that statue. That statue is nuts. How could they just let this all go to waste? We haven't even come into like any of the stores yet. There's so much to it. Oh my, there's a whole other section. It was a jewelry store. They still have all of this stuff in here. They have like parking watches. Look, they have whole-on jewelry boxes. Just left behind in here. Look at this. Yeah, little jewelry things. Dude, there's so much to explore. That's a Ruby Tuesday. This is like the modern apocalypse. What happened?
See for yourself. Did you catch that? You see it? As though the manager hadn't already been rattled enough, this occurs next. Captured by the camera aimed at the store's side entrance, you can see the manager's hair rising on its own, or more accurately, being pulled.
Very concerning text message from him. He had spotted 3 workers and they were coming right towards us. We were expecting the worst, until... Hey guys. Alright. How's it going? Alright. Yeah, it's a maze to get to the actual main part of it, but there's like all of these lead to it. We're like in the back area right now. But yeah, shut that door well.
Yeah, we don't have any of our lights.
Here, I'll show you to the main part, okay?
I think we're good.
Okay. Hey, bro. Wait, close it, bro. What the fuck are? Who are those people?
I saw them. I walked up to them, and I was like, "Are you guys workers here?" And they're like, "We don't work at the mall, but like we were taking pictures." I was like, "Come on, tell me, you guys are urban explorers." And they're like, "You seem chill." Yeah. And then I was like, "Okay, thank God." Blah 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 whatever. And my buddy is in there right now, so I'm trying to get out. Trying to make sure. Because I was genuinely tweaking out. So.
Bro.
Right now I'm working. So I mean,
they didn't come in with us.
I know. It just seems like super sketchy.
Yo, just 2 masked guys. I have my mask on right now. They're just all masked, man. Open a freaking like a door for them, just a random door. So there's no reason. And look at how creepy this is, dude. That's straight up blood. Yeah, you guys. So those people are really kind of weird. I don't know why they would just leave after they got in. They said they were urban explorers, but they might just be lying, and we might have just screwed ourselves over by being nice. So we'll see.
Yeah, they said they saw security on the other side of the mall and that they've noticed 2 police officers keep circling the property. I low-key think they're tweaking, but again, I still don't know if we can trust them or not.
It's nuts.
That alarm trips me out though, I don't like that.
Let's go back to this.
The further they pushed inside, the more disturbing things became. One gutted store had its entire roof collapsed, with rain falling straight through onto the floor below. A JCPenney location was so waterlogged and thick with mold that just stepping through the entrance triggered splitting headaches and made breathing feel like a chore.
It is flooded down there. There's like probably like 3 inches of water that have just been dripping down onto the first floor with nowhere to go for years. The Claire's is disgusting. This entire area is completely flooded, like the roof is collapsing. You can see the sky. That's where all of the rain is coming from. Look at the Claire's. Look at that. It's disgusting. Should I even go near this? The mold smell in here is horrendous. I'm gonna get out of this room and this area and explore over here and see what they have to offer over here. Because, oh my gosh. There's a whole play area. And they got, what? They got sets right there, like, for, like, candy and whatnot. Or video games. That's crazy. It's so flooded. There's, like, a J here. They have, like, weird sculptures in every single place. And then somehow a Sears cart made it all the way over here. Just unbelievable how apocalyptic this place looks. Okay, so we're gonna check out all that stuff in a minute. But for right now, I want to see what's inside of this old JCPenney that looks like it's been completely ransacked. Pretty easy entrance. Gotta go through this. Oh, I killed the mold spell. Oh, it's flooded. It is complete and utterly flooded. I don't know if I'm gonna spend much time. I got the huge flashlight out though, so you could see how bad all of it truly is. There's complete puddles on the floor in here. Poor JCPenney. This is like a biohazard to be in here. Just being in here alone right now is terrible. Every single thing you see right here is leaks. Like, it's so bad. And it also just rained, so this makes everything like 10 times worse. There's cobwebs in front of me, I'm not gonna mess with that. The lights are still on. This is for everybody who says abandoned places can't have power. I hear something. These freaking stacks. Destroyed. Just crumbling away because of the water. It's just green. Completely and disgustingly green. Ugh. My foot in it. Inside of a JCPenney, it's raining. That's crazy. I can't deal with it.
At one point, they stumbled upon a former seating area that had filled with standing water deep enough to resemble a small pond. Years of toxic residue pooling across what had once been carpeted flooring.
Before we go downstairs, I just want to check out these stores and then down there to see what's up. That is water. That's a seating area that's now completely filled with water. That's disgusting. How is that even possible? How is that turned into a pool? It's carpeted.
How much money to jump in there?
$1 billion. That is a carpeted seating area. That should not be filled with water. It's filled all the way back there as well. And you can see just...
The security office was fully submerged, and floating through the murky water were checks worth thousands of dollars. Wallets stuffed with credit cards, car keys, iPods, and loose cash, as though every single person on staff had simply vanished mid-shift.
Car keys. Wait, hold on. If any of you guys know where this is from, what currency, let me know. This is the currency right here. 2023. Active shooter incidents in the United States. June 2024. What? Is this a list of all of the incidents? Oh, what the hell? 48 male and 1 female / transgender. Most of them seem to be in California. That's awful. There's just money and credit cards and checks in here. All of this. IDs. Javon Marcus. That's this kid's name. Let's try and get into this room. We're not going to be able to get in there, but I think this office was cool enough for now with all of this stuff just left behind. There's probably even more. Wait, there's an entire wallet. I just realized. All of this guy's credit cards are still in here. What the hell? Leak Forest Mall. They might have made that a pun because it was so leaky. But I mean, now look at it. Lost keys. There's AirPods. Full on AirPods. What the hell? I'm just in awe of...
Once darkness took over, the entire mall plunged into a blackout, and his phone stopped responding, leaving him stranded in the pitch black with only a flashlight that could give out at any second, and no clear path to the exit.
Outside. The mall is pitch black. Oh my god. My phone is... Wait, if this flashlight right now, I'm actually screwed. There's no way I'm getting out of here. There's still a little bit of this mall I have to explore, so I'm gonna come back tomorrow for it. I think they left me. I didn't realize my phone was... I think they're gone. I hate it when it's dark. I hate it when it's dark. I'm not gonna be able to find my way out of this place with that flashlight. What the hell am I gonna do?
So what exactly caused the security office to flood like that, and why was it never cleaned out? What became of the employee whose personal belongings were left rotting in that water? And how did a place that still had thousands of dollars in checks and cash just sitting in an accessible room manage to stay abandoned for this long? A crew of urban explorers from the YouTube channel Dead Explorer decided to investigate a long abandoned house that has been surrounded by unsettling rumors for quite some time. The video goes by the title, Paranormal Video, Real Ghost Caught on Thermal Camera. People living in the surrounding area claim that the property has a history of bizarre activity. Furniture and objects are said to shift on their own, and after dark, disturbing noises, including what sounds like screaming, have reportedly been heard echoing from within the empty structure. Even though nobody has lived there in years, the team moved through the building methodically, recording everything they encountered. At a certain point, a group member named Rose spoke up and mentioned that she had suddenly experienced an intense cold sensation, concentrated specifically in the hand she was holding out in front of her.
Are blue.
They're all blue.
Oh my god.
You see how red she is here?
Yes.
Look.
Yes. Look at that K2. Look at that K2. It stopped.
In the freezer.
The K2 stopped.
It's right there, dude. Look at that. Look at that.
Are you grabbing Rose? Here.
Supposed to be like that.
Yeah, she's cold.
Look at purple. Her hands all.
Yeah, her hands are blue, dude. Look at this. Hurry, bring it. Hurry.
Wow.
Right?
And that thing's just going off.
Dang.
Dude, they're straight up. Look, they're dark. Look at that.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. They get more. More purple, more blue.
They're all blue.
Did you catch that? People watching the video noticed a peculiar tiny figure lurking near the bottom of the baby's playpen, right down by the ground. Stephanie says she had no clue this mysterious shape was even there until commenters started pointing it out after she posted it. She confirms there were no other kids anywhere nearby, and she has absolutely no explanation for who or what that peeking figure could be. What's even more interesting is that her son initially starts moving toward that room, but then quickly turns around and leaves. Yet shortly after, he casually strolls right back in, as if nothing bothered him at all. So what exactly is lurking there? That's for you to decide.
He claims something has shifted at that location. Strange sounds with no clear source. Doors swinging open on their own. And following unsettling footage comes from Proving Demons, a YouTube channel built around visiting haunted locations and digging into paranormal mysteries. The channel follows a crew of explorers and supernatural enthusiasts as they descend on abandoned or deeply eerie places, many with grim histories, hunting for evidence of the unexplained. It's May 10th, 2020, and this group of urban explorers and paranormal investigators have made their way back to a notorious derelict school, widely recognized for its violent poltergeist activity and commonly called Poltergeist College. The site, partially gutted by fire and connected to multiple tragic deaths of children, including a suspicious blaze and a history of addiction-related incidents, is believed to be inhabited by the souls of those who perished there, most notably a young girl whose sobbing and cries have reportedly echoed through its empty corridors.
I'd like to speak to the teens who died here. Are you here with us tonight? No. He wants to die. So I said, there's so much there in one go. It was a help if you want to So I thought it said if you want to survive.
I thought it said if you want that.
Alright. If you're dead and you know you're dead, could you clearly with purpose say, I'm dead, please?
Something white just went past.
What?
Something white just went past our carts. I got it on there.
Really?
Yeah.
Bro. Dude, the communication is unbelievable tonight.
It was like a big orb though.
Really?
Yeah, big orb.
Whereabouts was it?
Right past your shoulder,
You know
Bill.
what's weird? Right after I said you're dead, it said, I'll show you. Or I showed you. And then an orb.
That's when I seen it straight away.
Right after it said, I showed you.
Yo, two. What was that? 3 knocks.
Could you bang again for us, please?
It's forward.
Not gonna lie, bro, I've got like severe anxiety in here. I'm feeling uncomfortable. Yeah.
A tall, thin figure, moving at a slow and deliberate pace, almost as if it were carefully keeping itself just beyond the edge of visibility. The guard was convinced he was the only person in that building. Years later, nobody has managed to offer a satisfying explanation for what was recorded. Shadow, trick of light.
Are you here with us right now? Can you say, I'm here?
Give me a minute.
Give me a minute. Just say proving demons.
I had proving them.
I heard proving demons the whole word. Please, if you truly remember me, say proving demons one last time, just to really... Yeah, there is. Just to really sell it to me, just say proving demons as clear as possible. Please wait, my friend. Say proving demons, please.
I died.
Slow it down. Do you want me to go slower? Let me go back. Come find us. Let me go back. Come find us. Let me go back. Where are you? Where are you?
I thought it said gym room.
Gym room?
Yeah, I heard gym room. That's a gym room, man.
No, that's auditorium. There is a gym here. We'll go there next. I'm going slower for you. Is that too slow? Help us. You guys, it's just screaming, help us. Where can I find you? You cannot find me. Why? Why can't I find? It just said you cannot find me. Why not? Where are you? I keep saying find.
The conversation with whatever is in that building continues, with the entity repeatedly responding to their questions and instructing them to come and find it, turning what started as an exploration into something genuinely frightening, as it becomes clear there is at least one active presence among them.
That's if, yeah, we can get in. Okay. Gymnasium. What? What?
That was like someone running up on me then.
What?
Did you hear that?
Somebody just ran up on you.
Hello?
missed it.
I heard it, but we caught it on camera.
Okay. Well, maybe they'll come in here and play. Definitely watch your footing in here. Yeah, this is the gymnasium. And watch out for nails sticking up, by the way, too. Oh, just look how creepy that is. Look at these old basketball nets. Hello? Can you make a noise for us? Oh my god, that's so creepy. Oh my god, it just goes on. I do not like that. Yeah. What's the matter? Oh. Whoa, yeah, that pigeon just freaked out. Okay. If you're in here, you told us to come here. Show yourself, please. Make a noise. There's another one. What's going on? Oh, it's right there. I don't know. It's just a pigeon now. Oh.
Yeah, well, do you not know? You know, since we started doing this, I started feeling a breeze coming through.
I know. What the hell? What? What's the matter? Hey guys. Shh. Wait, yeah, just turn your lights off, get them low. Let's go to the car. Bro, tell me, what the hell was that? What just happened?
1 minute bro, I stood there filming. Next minute bro, I just blacked out everything. It's like everything just went black.
Honestly, I'm not even sure exactly what's happened in the last like 5 minutes. It's everything happened.
What follows is nothing short of harrowing. They make their way to the exact spot the spirit directed them toward, calling out several times into the silence, until, without any warning, one of the group suddenly drops to the ground and a series of loud, jarring sounds erupt around them. The entire team scrambles for the exit as quickly as they can. Fortunately, everyone escaped and walked away without serious harm. Danny later explained that his collapse happened because everything around him simply went dark in an instant and his body gave out. Do you think the spirit had something to do with that? And would you ever attempt to reach out to the dead inside a place like this? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Urban exploration has a way of pulling people toward the forgotten edges of the world, but it's worth keeping in mind that the excitement of discovery comes with its own dangers. What lurks in the shadows of these abandoned spaces can turn out to be far more than anyone bargained for, and the eerie stillness of a deserted building can shift into something truly unimaginable without a moment's notice. Meet Del and David, two friends bound together by a hunger for the unexplained. Through their YouTube channel, Signs and Signals, they made it their mission to venture into the most mysterious and disturbing locations they could track down. Abandoned structures lost to time, eerie nights among gravestones, their relentless pursuit of the paranormal drove them well beyond where most people would dare to go. Tragically, since Del's passing, the channel has fallen silent, but this particular investigation stands as one of their most gripping pieces of work. In this episode, the pair set their sights on a house that had sat empty for years. The previous owners, certain that something sinister was lurking within its walls, abandoned the property and never returned. Despite numerous attempts to sell it, the house remains on the market to this day. That fact alone was more than enough to draw Del and David in. What they hadn't counted on, though, was that walking through that front door might turn out to be a serious error in judgment. It's July 5th, 2021. The moment they pulled up to the property, they were already moving, driven by a need to understand what had sent the former owners running. They were about to get their answer, and the crumbling interior was the least of their worries.
There's a lot of stuff, there's a lot of stuff left over, and it looks like they left in a hurry.
Process, I tell you that.
It looks like somebody's been here after they tried to renovate. I doubt they will leave it.
Maybe, I don't know how long they haven't been here for, like after they got done trying to fix the place up.
I know you just heard that.
2 knocks. 3 knocks. What's that 3 knocks? Something jumps out of me right here. Yeah, that's all I both. Oh god, dude, it stinks worse back here than it did earlier, bro.
Dude, it smells like sulfur or something.
God, dude, come on, bro. Come here. Come here. Jesus. Maybe it was that phone. I don't know. Get the hell out of here, bro. Dude, that was not like that.
Without any warning, right on the heels of a strange, unexplained knocking, the entire room became thick with an absolutely suffocating odor, so intense and overpowering that the two had no choice but to abandon the space and push deeper into another section of the house. They barely had a moment to process where that smell could have possibly come from before something else seized their attention entirely, something that made the stench seem like the least of their problems.
Dale, someone's here. Is there someone knocking on the door?
Dude.
No, that's in the back. That's in the back still.
Dude.
It's in the back still.
It stinks in here all the way in here now.
Oh my god.
Bro. God, man. David, I'm done with this. Dude, I think we should need to go, man. We should need to go.
Oh, go, 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 go.
The footage ends there, and it's safe to assume the two wasted no time putting that place behind them. Honestly, it's hard to fault them for that, but it does leave a lot of unsettling questions hanging in the air. What was truly happening inside that house? Could something dark and malevolent have been responsible, conjuring those sounds and that nauseating wave of smell? Or was the whole thing staged for the sake of content? Ultimately, that's for you to decide. The following video was recorded late at night, somewhere inside a home. A woman hears what sounds like her daughter calling out from the dark. A small voice, distressed, coming from somewhere it shouldn't be. She approaches a low rectangular opening at the base of the wall, the kind of gap that sits flush with the baseboard and leads somewhere you'd never want to go. The family dog is already there, rigid, barking at whatever the darkness is hiding. Watch.
Leah! How did you get down there? You were supposed to be Oh my god.
The child's voice, calling out, "Mom, please help me," is chilling enough on its own. But what appears in that opening for barely a fraction of a second is something else entirely. A pale, elongated face with hollow black eyes and no visible features beyond a thin, horizontal slit where a mouth should be. It's there, and then it's gone. The dog doesn't move. Many who've seen this clip point out that whatever that face belongs to, it doesn't look like anything human, and it wasn't calling for help. You decide what was really down there. The following video was captured on a home baby monitor, and the backstory behind it is what makes it so hard to watch without feeling something. A 15-month-old girl is alone in her crib in the middle of the night, and by all appearances, she's content, rolling around, giggling, kicking her legs, the way toddlers do when they've decided sleep isn't happening just yet. But her mother shared this footage with a detail that changes everything about how you watch it. In 2017, her 3-year-old daughter Jada passed away. This is her younger sister. Listen closely. Twice during that footage, once around 50 seconds, and again near the 2-minute mark, the baby says a name. It's muffled the first time, but the second time it's clear enough to stop you cold. Jada. She's 15 months old, playing alone in a dark room, saying her dead sister's name. Some believe very young children exist in a kind of in-between state, not yet fully closed off from whatever's on the other side, still soft to presences that adults can no longer sense. Others think it's coincidence, the random babbling of a toddler landing on a sound that resembles a name. But then the clip ends the way it does. That sudden, piercing scream. Out of nowhere, no visible trigger, cutting off just as abruptly as it started. Whatever she was laughing with a moment before, something about it changed. And her mother has to live with not knowing what that was. Like and subscribe if you're enjoying watching this video. In the following clip, a man has been systematically documenting some of the strangest and most unsettling activity he's ever encountered. But before we get there, the first piece of footage wasn't captured by him at all. It came from a backyard security camera rolling silently at just after midnight. Watch. The infrared footage catches something hard to explain, a white ball that seems to materialize out of nowhere on the grass, rolling slightly before coming to rest, followed moments later by a single brilliant flash of light that floods the entire yard for a fraction of a second, and then, in the zoomed-in section, what appears to be a dark, humanoid figure moving between the sheds in the background, passing behind a post and disappearing. There's no audio, no wind, no person visible before or after. Some viewers think the flash and the figure are connected, that the light preceded something's arrival, almost like a signal. Others believe what the camera picked up was simply a person cutting through the yard and the ball was already there. But the figure's movement, the way it seems to drift rather than walk, has led a number of people to attach the term shadow person to it, a label used in paranormal communities to describe dark, human-shaped presences that appear on camera but don't behave like living people, moving without sound, without weight, and without any clear origin or destination. Now, shifting to the daytime, a man sitting on his covered porch, dressed casually, wearing blue gloves, just getting some air after cleaning the house, had already set up security cameras around the property. He wasn't expecting anything. Watch.
Something like that has never happened before. And the funny thing is that I was out here last night. I was on a Discord call with a couple of my people, a couple of my followers, and I showed them the inside of the house from sitting out here. And it was so dark inside there because I didn't have any lights on or anything like that. And my heart is racing right now. Oh my God, I got chills. It's like 80 degrees and I have full body chills. It's way too early in the morning for this.
The porch camera captures a white door with a glass pane violently swinging open on its own before slamming shut, and the man is visibly startled, sitting up immediately and moving toward it to investigate. He comes back to the camera shaken, hand on his chest, talking about full body chills despite it being around 80 degrees outside. He says something like that has never happened before. The door showed no signs of a breeze or mechanical failure when he checked it. Skeptics will point to air pressure differentials or loose hinges, but the force of the swing, how hard it hit the wall, how decisively it shut, makes that harder to dismiss than it sounds. Now this next footage is where things get genuinely terrifying, and it all takes place inside what appears to be a hospital on the 4th floor at night. The man returns to a housekeeping closet where he's had previous experiences. He's heard breathing here before, seen things he can't explain, and this time he sets his phone on the doorframe to record the dark room while he walks away. Watch.
Oh, the phone moved. And the door was locked. Back on. Sorry, it's hot in here. Just had to run across the 5th floor. I swear I just heard voices down there. I have chills. That sound like somebody breathing heavy. Now we out of here. We out.
No one was there, yet the phone moved like someone kicked it. And when he comes back to retrieve it, the door, which he left unlocked, is now locked from the inside, forcing him to use a key to get back in. He finds the phone on the floor. Then, as he walks down the hallway trying to compose himself, a deep, disembodied breath, close, unmistakable, like someone directly beside him, freezes him in place. He says, "That sound like somebody breathing heavy," and leaves immediately. 4 separate events, escalating in aggression. That pattern, from a single loud bang to a locked door to direct auditory contact, is what investigators sometimes call progressive phenomena, where a presence appears to test boundaries before making itself known more directly. It didn't stop there. On a separate visit, also at 3 a.m. on the 4th floor, he returns to the same housekeeping closet, turns off the light, and slides his phone under the door to record what's inside. Listen closely.
So, this is housekeeping, just your USSC. Oh, it's open. I thought it was locked. So they said what you do is turn off the light, and then just wait. But I'm not about to stand in here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn off the light and then slap my phone on the door so what happens. So here we go. Light off. And going under. Now tell me if y'all see or hear anything. I ain't going in there. Anything?
A deep, raspy, rhythmic breathing fills the recording from the dark gap under the door. Guttural, unnatural, consistent, while he stands just outside, apparently unaware it's even happening. On the 5th floor of the same building, he wanders into an empty hospital room, clearly uneasy, saying the floor makes him feel uncomfortable every time he's up there. He checks the room, checks the bathroom, and then moves back into the corridor, completely alone. And then this happened.
This floor makes me feel uneasy all the time. I never feel good up here. So you'll see, nobody's back there. It's just me. I could have sworn I heard something. I'm entirely sure. What the? Now, y'all heard that. I'm gonna show you. So, look. When you move the handle, that handle doesn't move. This handle, it locks. Okay? So, that is opening. That sound came from inside there, and I immediately opened the door. You need to use your key card in order to get in. Oh boy.
As he approaches a closed supply room door, the lever handle rattles violently for several seconds, loud and aggressive, as if something on the other side is trying to get out. He opens it with his keycard and the room is completely empty. He then takes the time to demonstrate the locking mechanism, showing that the interior handle doesn't operate the latch, that the exterior lever locks, and that you need a keycard to get back in. The sound came from inside a room that couldn't have been opened from the inside. No other explanation holds. For this last clip, he decides to go back into the housekeeping closet on the 4th floor one more time, this time stepping inside with the camera and staying in the room himself, something a viewer had asked him to do. He shows the small empty space, confirms he's alone, and then turns the light off. Listen closely.
Alright, so back up here on the 4th floor, yet again. Y'all did not like me leaving y'all in the thing yesterday, but today I am going to take the advice of one of viewers, and I'm going in there with y'all. See what happens. Here we go. All right, so I'm in the housekeeping closet. As you can see, it's just me. It's in here. Okay. Now somebody asked me to set this thing up on the desk. I can't do that because the logo for the company I work for is not supposed to be in the video. So this is the most you're gonna get. But I showed you the whole room. There are no cuts. Here we go. I'm shaking. Here we go. Okay. There's a door there. Nothing up there. You can see, well, you can't really see, but you get what I'm saying. I'm talking so that way you can hear that. What the hell?
In the total darkness, while he's still talking, 2 clear and distinct chiming sounds ring out. melodic, high-pitched, like a small bell or a music box, with no visible source anywhere in the room. He turns the light back on immediately, wide-eyed and breathing hard. A bell-like sound appearing in a locked, empty room at night doesn't fit any obvious explanation. And for viewers familiar with accounts of intelligent haunting behavior, that kind of auditory detail, specific, musical, deliberate, is exactly the type of phenomenon that gets harder to wave away the more you think about it. This man keeps returning to this building, to this floor, to this same closet, and each time the activity seems to acknowledge him more directly. What exactly is in that room? And why does it seem to know when he's there? Like and subscribe if you're enjoying watching this video. He's been back multiple times now, and the pattern hasn't broken. It's only gotten closer. The following video was recorded by a woman who owns property in the Appalachian Mountains. 200 acres of dense forest, a gravel driveway, a pond, and, as she would eventually discover, an unmarked cemetery sitting quietly on the land. She'd been checking her security cameras periodically, the way most people do, just to see what passes through. She wasn't looking for anything unusual, but what she found when she reviewed the footage changed the way she thinks about the property entirely. Watch.
When we found out that there was a cemetery on the property, every time I get there, I walk up by myself and I say a prayer. After that, once I came back home and checked the camera, this is what I saw. I wasn't really sure what it was. I'm like, it looks like an old man with like carrying a staff with like a beard or something. And I started digging, and what the theory that I came up with was that it was Saint Michael leading these souls to heaven. It sent it to my mom, and she said, there's more people around him. And then she said, if you look at the very last like second, it like turns as if it's gonna go up that trail. And that's where the cemetery is up that trail. Because originally we thought, okay, this land is haunted for sure. Like, there's some bad stuff on this property. I'm starting to lean away from the property being haunted from something evil to being something that's positive.
What the camera captured was a narrow vertical column of reddish-orange light near the tree line, visible in daylight, standing apart from the surrounding shadows in a way she says she's never seen before or since. She acknowledges it could be a sun glare, but insists the shape was different this time. More structured, more deliberate. After slowing it down and zooming in, she began to see something that resembled a tall figure, possibly with a beard, possibly carrying a staff. She sent it to her mother, who pointed out what she thought were additional shapes surrounding it. Her theory, the one she kept coming back to, was Saint Michael, the archangel traditionally depicted as a guardian of souls, leading the dead. The trail right there in the footage leads directly up to a cemetery on the property, and she says if you watch the very last moment of the clip, the anomaly appears to turn as if moving toward that trail. Whether you think it's a light artifact or something else entirely, the location of it is difficult to dismiss. So what do you think that was? That question only deepened the more she began connecting the other strange events happening on the same property. In the months before she even knew there was a cemetery on her land, a fire broke out near one of the cabins and spread up the hill in a path that no one could fully explain. Take a look.
Really, get out of there. Really, get out of there.
A tree stump in that area kept reigniting on its own, still smoldering more than 12 hours after firefighters had completely extinguished everything else. And then the cabin closest to that spot flooded without any clear cause. She has footage of the water valve taken shortly before the flood, showing it clearly in the closed position, and yet the cabin still filled with water. When her cousin later discovered, almost by accident through a map app on her phone, that there was an unmarked cemetery sitting in that exact location, the precise spot where the fire started, the precise spot in front of the cabin that flooded. The whole sequence stopped feeling like a coincidence. The Appalachian Mountains carry one of the oldest and deepest traditions of land-based folklore in North America, a blend of Scotch, Irish, and Cherokee belief, where the idea that the dead can make themselves known to the living is not treated as superstition, but as fact. Some viewers familiar with that tradition think whatever is buried there was trying to get her attention, using the fire and the flood as signals rather than threats. Others think it's an extraordinary run of coincidence, but the cemetery's real, the water valve footage is real, and the stump was still burning long after it had any reason to be. Then she checked the security camera that covers the long gravel driveway and the yard, and what she found in the still images gave her the clearest picture yet of something that shouldn't be there. Watch closely.
What's that? Anybody with a Ring camera understands that if your camera picks up motion, it starts recording. Otherwise, it just takes a picture every minute. And this was captured in one of the pictures. It didn't record. To get an idea, this is the whole view from that camera. This is the road. This is the driveway. That you can either go up past there or you can come this way. Okay, so there's the driveway road. There's a gate right there. All along here on the other sides of the pond are these huge ditches that if you were to stand in them, they'd be over your head. Okay, so we get a layout. This tree, road, driveway. This is a deer in the same spot. And if you look over there, you can see the camera caught it, and the camera was recording that deer running from over there to over here. Okay, it was going this way. Camera caught it. You can see in the bottom corner, it says motion detected, that deer. Here is where it caught a car. You can see the car at the end of the driveway. See a vehicle. It caught it. It started recording, caught it. And now here is where you see it just pops up, and then it goes away. I'm scrolling with my finger. Here is where it caught deer at night in the same spot. The one on the left is in the same spot. At night, it caught it. Now I know what you're saying. Ring cameras capture weird stuff all the time. That's fine. I get it. Like the time I thought I saw a ghost in the yard. Right here. I thought that looked like a person. Not to mention the fact, if this was an actual person on a horse riding up my driveway, even if the camera didn't detect it, it would have still caught an image every so often of it walking up the driveway. There's no way it could have gotten over the gate, and there's no way that it could have gone in the creek to get onto the property. If you understood how deep this creek is, there's no way that horse could have gone down into the creek and then up and out again onto the property. It just doesn't make sense. Side note, we did discover that there is a cemetery located on our property. So many things have happened there that are just unexplainable, and yeah, I'll get into it some other time.
A single still image from the camera shows a pale, amorphous shape near the tree line. Two parts to it, a lower bulky form and a taller, narrower shape above, like something seated on an animal. The camera didn't detect motion and didn't record a clip. It just took its periodic still photograph and caught that shape standing there. And then, the next frame it was gone. Some viewers immediately called it a ghost horse, a term that shows up repeatedly in Appalachian folklore, where the spirits of animals are said to remain tied to land they once worked. Others weren't sure what to call it at all. By the time she came back to review her footage again weeks later, she'd found something new. And this time, the camera itself seemed to be part of the story. Like and subscribe if you're enjoying watching this video. Watch.
So the footage of my neighbor going to the property, I watched it back after he left, and it sounded like women were yelling at him as he was pulling out of the driveway. So I messaged him and I said, hey, was there anyone yelling at you when you left? And he said, no. I slowed it down. After listening back, it sounds like several people yelling at him.
When she went back to pull the original clip, the footage had changed. The recording that previously showed minute-by-minute markers now displayed a single continuous bar that skipped from 9:30 in the morning directly to 4:30 in the afternoon, the ghost clip sitting right in that missing window, around noon. The data was just gone. And then she found the audio. A recording from the camera picked up two men talking outside. One of them saying goodbye to someone he called Pawpaw before leaving the property. Normal enough, but when she slowed it down, the voice dropped into something low and guttural that didn't sound like a slowed human voice anymore. She's since found death certificates and photographs for what she believes are 5 to 7 people buried on that land. Someone's ancestors, left in an unmarked cemetery that the property's current owners had no idea was there until a fire pointed directly at it. Whatever is on those 200 acres, it doesn't seem to be staying quiet.